Hello, I'm Bursey, and welcome back to Hikylabur, where I'm realizing my potential while protecting my mental. Thank you for showing up today as I continue to invite you to feel real still. Feel all that you are, show up as your authentic self, and be present, because what better moments than right now? This is my final episode of season 1. I missed last week as I put it off a little bit, but also was trying to finish my college career. I graduate in 2 days. I had my last final or presentation. It was a pizza party / app demo where we got to try our peers' apps, and they got to try ours, my teams that we developed, and that was fun. I just had some exciting past few weeks. As you all may have noticed if you've been following me, I didn't stick to my schedule of every Monday release, but I made an effort to get it out in that week, last week, and I think one other week. Just didn't happen, and that's okay. Because I've just allowed this process to be fluid, to flow with my life as I bud into blossom, rather. I feel like I'm growing so much. I've grown so much through these past few years, or just in these past few months with you all, as I've been sharing my stories from college, my mindset of the moment, and how I've been dealing with uncertainty, trying to protect my mental along the way and express gratitude at the same time. So if you've been keeping up with me, thank you. If you're new here, welcome. This isn't the end. It just happens to be the end of this moment in time, as my intentions were to in season 1 when my college career ended. And here I am in the last week before graduation, where I will be a graduate. I will no longer be a student. So it's surreal and very eye-opening, as I feel like the world is available. There's so many opportunities in which I can take my life, can bloom into, and I'm grateful. Last time we talked about feeling real still in the moment, quite literally, where I was on my couch. I'm back in front of the green backdrop. I had to end it where I began, of course, but I was on my couch. I just turned on the camera when I got home and decided to share how I felt about the competition that I was entering. Well, I was competing in the next day, and I didn't win. I wanted to so badly because I had worked so hard to get to this moment from the beginning of senior year. But through the support that I'd received leading up to it, the people that God placed into my life that were literally telling me like, hey, it doesn't end here. It's going to be okay. No matter the outcome, I support you. I believe in you. I see a confident young woman. Thinking of a specific LinkedIn comment that was left. It seemed out of the blue, but it was very fitting for what I needed to hear at that moment. My sister had a great conversation with her that night. My friend Carly, that I've reconnected with, she was a senior in college when I was a senior in high school. So we went our separate ways, but I reached out to her last year as I saw the amazing things that she was doing and was looking forward to connecting. But her just showing up or God telling me, hey, why don't you reach out to Carly, or having that nudge, and I did it, and just having that beautiful friendship blossoming again into something beautiful, and just showing me like people do care about me. People do care about you. Like, we're not here by ourselves. We weren't placed here for our own benefit. So we were put here, yes, to reach our own accomplishments or explore this beautiful world, but also to help each other. And that's what I had received. My beautiful family has been supporting me through this process. My family's friends that feel like family who have been encouraging me along the way, who have been seeing me. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for being there, for reaching out to tell me how I've impacted you, or if you haven't and you've just been there along the way. I'm so grateful. And I wanted to come here today to do that as a reflective moment to express gratitude and how this process has been, but also to share where I am leading up to graduation and what I'm choosing to do here on forward. And I chose this topic as I'm leading up to, because it is Mental Health Awareness Month, and part of Hikylabur and the direction that I seek for it to grow in is for it to be about mental health awareness as well. If I'm labeled as a motivational speaker, I'm going to tell you, get up, go, and go for it. But I'm also going to include, let's pace ourselves along the way. If you didn't get up this morning, that's okay. Let's try again tomorrow. Give yourself some grace. So I'm going to balance that out, because you never know what anyone is going through internally. Externally, everything may look okay, but sometimes life piles on, and my mental health hasn't been the best this semester. In an ideal world, I would have been on top of everything with this podcast, with my schoolwork. I finished great school-wise, but I felt lost because I'm searching for something that I'm trying to hold, a future that I can grasp, but that's not how life works. And so leading up to this moment prior to graduation, I've been feeling very low, and being intentional with how I speak about my mental health, as I have a line about what I share, but also this is the internet. This is open to the world. And I want to be sensitive to those who may be experiencing similar things, but also speak how I feel and to say that you're not alone. So what I'm speaking about specifically is that feeling when we may think, well, what if life would be better for blank if I wasn't here? And that's a strong thought, because it occurs in the oddest of moments at times for me, or the lowest of moments when you may feel hopeless, or when I've felt hopeless. And the title of this episode, the topic of this episode, came from this past weekend, where I was lying in bed one night, having a low moment, just allowing myself to feel, making space for those emotions, but not staying there, whether it was journaling. But I remember laying in the bed, and there's this bridge. I'll look up the name. There's this bridge that goes from Memphis to Arkansas. And that night, I imagined myself off of the bridge. And in different ways, not to get into details, this is just openly talking about how the mind works at times. But it was like, what if the bridge just collapsed? Or what if I was in the water and drowned? And saying that lightly to talk around how I was feeling. But that was kind of a thought. I prayed, journaled it out, and it went away. Not the feeling, but the thought, okay? So about 2 days later, it wasn't pressing on my mind. I just didn't have the best of days or day. I I had high moments, low moments, but I tried to stay mellow. But not often, before, I've driven across this bridge to watch the sunset. This past Sunday, it was about to rain, and I was like, this is a nice setting. What if I drive across the bridge on my way home? So how the bridge crossing worked for me was I'd cross the bridge, look over at the water, look over at the riverfront, and then I'd get off on the first exit in Arkansas, turn around, and then go home. And I started the story with a thought that I had. And at that moment, it began to rain. The downpour had started, and I became afraid. Also at that instant, this thought that I had came back. And suddenly, I felt comforted. I choose that word because as I looked in awe at the rain, but also felt afraid because I was like, hold on now. It's raining hard. I wasn't expecting this for at least until I got home because I saw the clouds. Okay. But I didn't think it was about to start raining hard. And I gripped the wheel tight and I began to talk to God. I began to pray. I prayed for my safety. I expressed gratitude. That's something that my dad told me to do at times when I'm feeling low. Just start thinking about all the things that you're grateful for. And so I immediately started being grateful for my family, for having the vehicle that I was driving in, for being alive, for making it to this moment, and praying that I made it home safely because I was like, I'm choosing to live. I want to explore what's here. I may not know what's next, but I know that right here, right now, I'm not alone in this car. God, you're with me. I haven't been feeling my best. I know that this moment will pass. But right now, I just ask you, can I make it home safely and understand what it means to live in your world, in this world, and find fulfillment in this moment of my life, but throughout life, whatever I'm here for, through my destination, through my time that has been set for me, and to find peace in that moment with where I was, in my state of mind, with that thought of like, oh, I did just think about that a few nights ago, and here I am, unplanned. I didn't plan to go on the bridge. I planned at that moment while I was driving because I was like, why not? Sometimes I drive across it on the way home, and I've never driven through it in this weather condition. And so I ended up getting off on the exit as I usually do. I stopped for a minute under the bridge. You know, when you go under the bridge and the rain stops and get a little quiet and you can see better. Took a deep breath. No. And I attentively drove home. I made it to my apartment and I immediately just felt relief. I felt alive, if that's the word that I'm looking for. And I think so, because I felt like purpose. I felt like I was ready to live again for me and for what God has for me. And this is a heavy topic for this ending episode, but I have that on my heart to share. And I feel a little discomfort as I'm talking about it because that's an unsettling emotion to have and to admit that you have, especially when you feel alone at times. Like, this hasn't been the best week for me because, as I've mentioned throughout this podcast, it's our senior week and I haven't socialized as some other people may have. So doing events on senior week has just been me, the senior, doing the events with myself and trying to find joy in those moments. And today, before I'm sitting here now talking to you all. I went to campus, and to be honest with you, it's like 12:44 a.m. on Thursday. But I went to campus at like 10 p.m. and decided to take my grad photos because I just wasn't feeling up to it in the weeks prior, as I didn't know if I wanted to pay someone to take my photos, or I wanted to take them myself, because I've experimented a little bit taking my photos with my camera. But it was a spontaneous moment, and I was like, hey, this is what living looks like to me. I made it safely to campus. My sister was on the phone with me the whole time. I made it safely, and our campus is gated, and I say that because I felt safe there. I saw other seniors, I guess, I assume, because this should be only seniors on campus, or whomever's there walking on campus. I didn't feel alone there, but I felt joy in that moment taking pictures. If you go to my Instagram, I posted some, probably by the time this is out, of my grad photos that I took, but also it just felt fun. And that's what I want to look forward to in life. Moving here is fun. And I know I'm smiling because I'm at peace with myself and where I am in my journey. Is every day perfect? No. Do I struggle with some things like other people? Yes. But I'm choosing to live. I'm choosing to have hope. I'm choosing to express gratitude, to be okay with not understanding or knowing every single thing that's supposed to unfold for me, because God has a plan. And I'm mentioning God a lot in this final episode. I mentioned my beliefs throughout this podcast. I'm giving glory to Him today because I feel like that the synchronicity of life, the way that things happen, that loving nature that counters those thoughts, that gives you the power to say, no, that's not true. No, I deserve to be here. No, there is something for me because God said so. God did this. And I say God because there's something greater. There's someone greater than us endowed in each one of us that goes beyond the power that we think we have. And this piece of paper reminds me of that. It's simply a shipping slip that I got from an order I just made. But at the bottom of it, I didn't really know this brand was associated with anything. But as I was checking my my package slip, the message at the bottom, and I've never ordered from this brand before. I guess this is what they do. Irrelevant. But this is what it says. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29, verse 11. This message, like the connections that I said that I've been making in these past few weeks, or throughout my college career, rather, or more specifically connected to this, is that synchronicity of life, giving you reminders along the way to say, I see you. I am here with you. I know this may not be easy, but it's going to be okay. Give yourself some grace. I didn't end this podcast according to my plan. It's been what it is. Shoot, for the last few episodes, I wanted to express gratitude, specifically like a dear. I started off on a strong foot, with the dear Kyla. I wanted to do dear mom and dad, dear college. Those didn't happen, and that's okay. It's not too late, but in concluding this moment, this chapter of my life, I felt like it was important to continue to show up as my authentic self as I've been experiencing my real life off camera, but also let you all in to share and to talk directly to you, to be with you and whatever you may be experiencing, to know that you're not alone, to know that you got this, we got this, God got us, okay? Like it's not easy. And another message that was relayed to me through a friend I met at a speaking engagement that I had. And I was telling her, like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And she was like, you're not supposed to. That's what life is about. It's the mystery. It's the mystery that it is. And I was like, you know what? You're right. That's also what choosing to live looks like for me. Being okay with the mystery, being excited for it. Shoot, I don't know what's next. Exactly. I know I'm going to stand on Hikylabur, my business, okay? And be confident in it. Today I was reminded of that again, when we went to go pick up our caps and gowns, our regalia earlier. And of course they asked us, what's next? And I was like, I don't know. And the woman that was at a woman that works, she has a name, but a woman, she said, you know, you have a business you can run. And I was like, you're right. I do have a business I can run. This is my business. This is what I'm doing next. Hikylabur. So look out for perhaps a bonus episode, maybe a life update one to package this up. Not making any promises, but I'm gonna keep going. I feel like this dream, this vision, this idea was planted in my heart, and I from day one, episode 1, I was getting my actions right, and standing on what I want to do, what I want to be. So why stop now? And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to have faith. I'm going to take a moment to feel, but I'm going to keep choosing to live until God says it's my time. And I'm standing here confidently saying this, but I say this with a light heart and hope, because that's how I feel in this moment. And I'm radiating with gratitude, with the love of this life. I may not understand it, things happening in this world, things happening around me, but that is okay. Season 2 will be more so of interview style. I'm going to open it up. More details on that soon. I'm going to have maybe a preview video looking what to expect for that, like I did with season 1 trailer. But I feel like I've gotten it all out. It hasn't been the most comfortable feeling to do so, but that's my truth. And in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, why not finish self-aware and with a smile, with hope. Thank you all for supporting me, for watching. I'm about to graduate. I have so many bloopers and videos from this process, so I might put together a little recap. We'll see. I'm gonna have so much time on my hands. This is the job now, mixing the purpose with the passion and the income, all that good stuff, and allowing God to handle the rest. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're in a moment in life where you've chosen to live, even if you haven't had low thoughts, but choosing to live every day, accepting the invitation to live in the moment, to say, I don't know what's next, but that's okay. What's in front of me? Who is in front of me? Who can I love that's in front of me? Who can I express gratitude for, to, that's in front of me? And just know that I'm grateful for you. You are loved. This has been amazing. I don't want to end it, but I have to. So thank you for watching. This isn't the end. goodbye for now. I'll see you in the next season, bonus episode. We'll see. Thank you so much. Bye.